We back like we never left. T, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, listen, y'all. We forget. We apologize for the break. It's the holidays. We got families. I got kids. My son's transferring. Whole nother episode or a whole nother day. We'll get
For
into that
real.
at one point. But life happens like that, man. So, what's been going on with you, bro?
Not man. You know the usual, man. Busy as heck, man. You know, running grindhouse. We're setting up our flexologist, so we're getting a stretching team coming on board. Man, we got a lot going on, man. Merchandise got to drop. What we talked about last time. Man, I got a couple properties I'm working on right now. Should be hitting the market in January.
Gym's looking good too. We got. I think on one episode we probably change the view one day and see exactly so we can get a different. But I think people need to really see what we do here too, man. They need to see the
no
gym
doubt.
too, man.
Oh,
So
no doubt. Yeah.
we have to put that out there in the beginning one day. Put the gym out there, and it's kind of a good segue because at the end of the rope as an athlete, sometimes we're gonna do this warm up rep, y'all. Warm up rep first off.
Okay.
Before we do that, like, share, subscribe. Do all the good stuff. We appreciate all the people that come in and listen every week.
We need that, man. We need y'all to follow us. We need y'all to share the information. All the information has been provided for the young athletes, but also for the parents that don't have that information or don't know. So it's not wrong with if you don't know it. We're trying to provide it for you. So if you have questions, leave those questions in the comments so we can kind of see what you guys need and how can we be a service to everyone. So
exactly. So. Well, just warm up rep. We talked about. Let's talk about LeBron James.
Okay.
LeBron James is 40 years old now. 40 years old and still doing stuff at a high level.
Yeah.
What, as an athlete right now, and seeing LeBron, the Tom Brady, the guys who do it after 40, what do you? How does it make you feel as a former athlete to say, dang? Maybe I could have did this at this age. What do you think? How do you feel seeing them working at this high level?
Man, I give them guys much respect because you got to understand that to play at 40 at that high of a level, you have to have a team, like a team of people that's taking great care of you, knowing what to eat, when to work out, when to stretch, when to do every single thing, hyperbaric chambers, all of that different stuff that a lot of people don't even know about. These guys are putting in that time and that money because there's a lot of money they're spending to make sure their bodies are equipped to be able to withstand a whole season on that level, NBA or NFL. So
if y'all don't know what this episode is about, we want to know when is the right time to hang it up, when it's time to retire, when it's time to pivot. Because unlike LeBron and Tom Brady, 95% of athletes don't have a choice as to when it's time to go. There's somebody gonna retire you before you're able to retire.
Knock, knock, knock.
Time.
Hey, coach, want to talk to you.
So that's who we want to talk about. But we're to talk about. I'm not gonna bring up the Tom Brady, the Serena Williams,
okay.
People who really have. But we want to talk about just like when it's just time. So, T, when you got, because we gonna be keep it a whole buck, keep it a whole buck.
No doubt.
Your time came earlier than you wanted it to.
Correct.
So when you knew that, football is done with me, because we know you're still in it. You ain't never done. How did you handle that, man? How did you? What did you do on the inside? How did you handle that part?
On the inside, I mean, man, I handled it. I was in that place that where a lot of people go when you've done something your whole entire life that you love doing, and all of a sudden it's time to call it quits or retire. One of the things that kind of helped me cope with it was I joined a arena team that I played for in St. Louis, which helped with that NFL transition to arena. But man, what I mean by that dark place that you go, think about doing something from the age of 9 years old, and then you're in your late 20s when you're never gonna ever see a football field again. So one of the things that I experienced was, like just sitting at home, just playing video games, just trying to just block out life, until I figured out my next move, my next pivot in life where I wanted to go. So it was tough. It was hard on me, but with the grace of God being in my life, it was a cool transition because I still was able to play another 5 or 6 years arena ball. So I played till I was 31. Then I was in education at the time, so that transition helped me work with kids and coaching and all the other things that I've done for the past 16 some years or whatever. Because I think I just finished up coaching last year. So so it's just the journey, man. The retirement was not expecting, but at the same time, nobody knows when we call him the Reaper is going to knock at your door and come and get you, right? And that's real. Like you could be watching film and somebody just say, "Hey, coach, want to talk to you," and that's pretty much it. So when that happened to me, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, I cried like a baby. Like you put everything that you had into something that you know that is short lived, and when it's your time, it's your time. It's nothing that you can really do about it, but make the best of it. So
Yeah. And I think a lot of people when retirement comes for them is typically here's the physical part. Like you just can't do it. You can't jump as high. You can't run as fast. You can't block as strong. You can't do the things that you've done when you were at 25. Like so, the physical part comes, but the mental side of that, for some of the athletes when you're dealing with, do I still want to keep doing this? The burnout, because that happens too, or just that fear that if I stop, then I'm irrelevant. Like, how do you handle that mental side of, I want to say that you're irrelevant, but something that bothers people that, if you go from, I'm in the news every day, I'm on ESPN, stuff like that, but now don't nobody give a crap about you. And not saying your family does, but you know what I mean, that no one cares. So how do you balance, how do you, or see even some of the athletes that battle that irrelevance? Because we've seen some turn to gambling. We've seen some turn to crime. We've seen all those things. So, what advice would you give to some of those guys, and what have you saw from some of your old teammates when it comes to that? You don't have to name no name, please.
Okay, I would never. I mean, I've seen a lot. I mean, I've seen guys go straight to the bottle, start drinking, a lot of alcohol to a point where it eats them alive. And I've seen some guys, just aggressively, have domestic violence issues with wives and things like that. And it's just when you see these things, and you see these young men, who gave their whole entire life to a sport, that's the transition. It's hard, man, because nobody understands like that brotherhood that we all have in the locker room. Like, I hear you talk all the time about brotherhood, and it's like that brotherhood in the locker room really meant something. Like to this day, when you get together, I did an event back in, I want to say I went to the Michigan Illinois game, and when I went to the Michigan Illinois game, man, that brotherhood never left. That it was like we were so happy to see each other, man. That when you see that, it's like it's a great feeling. So when you feel irrelevant, we must say, because that's what it basically is, bro. I mean, because you're not on television, you're not in the papers, you're not on you're not doing anything that you just living a regular life. But let me tell you one thing: how to balance that though is just keeping God in your life, because that balance, if it's not put in a position where you can make a decision without you're trying to think you can make the decision. You can't make the decisions. You have to also lean on another source that can kind of help you, guide you through that journey, because scriptures in the word is things in the word that kind of help you process your life according to what's going on in today's time, so that you can transition. Not saying it's going to still be easy, but it's always a part of your life where you it's going to help the transition, make it a little bit lighter for you.
This is Terrell Washington, the co-host of the Grindhouse Sports Podcast. We are here to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Restore Hyper Wellness in Murphy, Texas. Check out their studio at 223 FM 544 Suite 806 Murphy, Texas. Thank you to Restore Hyper Wellness for supporting the grind.
But for some of those guys that you run into, things like that, do you feel like, so they come back and, it doesn't feel like you just said, it didn't feel like everything left, feel like you guys were still there. Do you feel like some of those guys still living that same moment still though? they still living in 2000, 2001.
Oh heck yeah, heck yeah, man.
Like,
so it's a lot of guys that's just stuck, man.
Yeah.
Like you looking. I'm from the hood, so when you go back to the hood, you see the same old guys sitting on the same old court, and that's our age, right? So it's people that play college ball. Like you got the little league. Oh man, remember when I played? Like, bro, nobody talking
Scored
about little
45
league.
touchdowns.
Nobody talking about little league. Look at me right now. Nobody talking about little league right now. All right. No, so when you yeah, I mean, heck yeah, it's a lot of guys stuck in college still, because the transition from college to pro, if they didn't go pro, that's all that was their fame. That was their glory days, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to transition from another level when you ain't go to that next level.
Mm-hmm. So and that's gonna lead me here because I think in another episode we'll talk about this part. But when it comes to post career, do you feel like it's just people who just aren't ready for that because they didn't invest, they didn't whether it's financially, real estate, that they weren't smart with their money and they feel like it was never going to end? Do you just feel like that's kind of the thing why people want to kind of hold on to it, or is it just
it's all three?
All three?
It's all three because you got it to a point where people financially that you in school, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're in school, you go to class, but you got guys that actually going to school, not even thinking about the after college pro level. They think they're going to be there forever, and it's like, bro, this is short lived. I mean, what's the average NFL time for somebody that's drafted? What, about 3 years, if that? 3.5 years. I think about 3.5 years.
I'm gonna get into that in one of these when we go.
Yeah, so it's like when you looking at that little short window. Mm-hmm. I've always told myself I want to run businesses. So it was not like, I woke up and I'm gonna run a business. It was like I've been manifesting this for a long time that I want to run businesses. So I've always had an exit strategy after football. I was just like, man, if football presents itself for me, man, I'm going to be one. I was like, man, I'm going to put myself in my family in an awesome position in the future, and that's how I kind of took it if I would have got a little more time. But me having a backup plan and me having God in my life to guide me through the journey. Like, I wasn't a fancy guy. I didn't go out and drive expensive cars. I didn't go out and buy big old houses. I lived a simple life, man. I think my first house I bought was a condo, man. I think I paid about $50 or $60K for it, bro. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much it. And I bought like a $20,000 car. Mm-hmm. But you look at it, I took NFL as not for long, right? So if you prep yourself, it's not for long, and you do have a long journey, shoot, I mean, that's good for you, because now you done prepped yourself and you done stash your nuts up and you got some bread in the future. So I never looked at football for the right now. I always looked at football for the future.
Yeah. So for some of those guys who's holding on, because you still got people that's holding on that I can go back and do this, and I'm 38 years old and I got 30 plays I can go play, and they may have it, but do they have the grind from April to all the way to December still? For those guys are still holding on to that, what's some of the advice you can kind of give some of those guys that they need to probably starting to work on, and they may still want to play?
Mental. So it's okay, yeah. I mean, I think like somebody was like, hey T, like I think I ran when I went to the Music City Bowl last week. One of my buddies said, hey man, look, you still can play. I just looked at him with a straight face. I can still play. What are you talking about? Mm. But I only could play probably like a quarter.
but even that's to go through the grind.
That grind. I mean, man, mentally, you got to be mentally prepared to do that. And those guys that think they can do that and still have 30 plays left, man, that's when you know it's time to retire, because you go out there and get yourself injured and you can't do anything for the rest of your life, man. It is not even worth it, man. So the money aspect of things, it's good money. You're going to make good money, but still, majority of the guys that do this, shoot, they're years in, they scrambling, they trying to figure out how to make ends meet. So, that's why I just say, man, just prep yourself, man, stash your bread, think ahead, don't think for the right now, always give yourself, a cushion. And if you're not giving yourself a cushion, you're putting yourself in a horrible position for the future. I mean, my stint was super short, man. I mean, I looked up, I blinked, and I was done. So if you're anyway like me, or if you even get 3 to 4 years into the NFL and you invested in NFL, man, run with it, bro. Like, you play 10, 15 years, take advantage of the whole situation, meaning try to go into the coaching life, try to just kind of just take your steps up the ladder, man, and I think you have a bright future no matter what you do, if you plan it all right, because I just don't think a lot of guys are just planning it right.
Yeah, and that was kind of where I want to go here with kind of thinking about the next chapters, is that a lot of people want to be they're invested in the game, invested in any game that you're playing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That the one part that I feel like a lot of athletes don't do, and it's probably why we don't have as many coaches that look like us in this, is networking.
Correct.
I don't feel like it's a skill that is taught while they're playing, because they want you to just be
fully vested.
You're fully vested in playing, but that next career is coming. Football is going to end. Basketball is going to end. There is no way that you can play this forever.
Right.
So, what advice do you give to those guys who they want to give back to the game and give the game that they love? The same. Give that to someone else. That same love and investment into it. How do you tell them? How do you help them with getting started with that? What's the first steps that they need to be making with trying to get started and finding their path with that?
Well, the NFL have programs for athletes. So after football, after basketball, I mean, I just know for football, we have programs that's set up to kind of guide if you want to go into coaching, if you need to get your master's, if you need to get extra degrees, because if you play you play professional sports, and just say you leave college early and you want to go back and graduate, that university will honor that graduation. You can still graduate, which is good, so that if they don't graduate when they make it to the NFL, I mean, they can always go back and finish up. So that's the cool thing about that. But also the NFL have courses and classes that you can take if you want to go into coaching. The kind of transitions, it's called the transition, from pro ball to life. I mean, because that's basically what it is. If you want to start a business, they have programs to help you start businesses. If you want to go into politics, they got it all, man. So it's like you're part of a brotherhood that's going to help guide you in the right direction. And if you're one of those guys like, man, forget the NFL, my coach fired me or cut me or whatever, I'm never going to go back, I'm never going to be a part of it, then I would say for you, man, you gotta look at things a little bit differently, because your life could still change if you just take full advantage of what is provided out there. The networking portion, it starts in the NFL. The different guys that's on your team, the guys that you go to college with that go pro, and we're all on different teams. So, I mean, the networking is going to be a critical portion of making sure you stay in tune to everything that's going on around you and where people are going, coaches are going, and also their teammates are going, because majority of your teammates may end up being coaches one day. So
you got let's say you got a former player, guy, you retired, he's 32 years old. He reaches out to you. He said, "Hey, Terrell, I've seen your podcast. I've seen you. I want you to mentor me." How would you mentor this former player? Because now that you're a business owner, local YouTube hero now, But what would be your first step with trying to help someone with transitioning out of that limelight into the next chapter of their life? Whether it's with their business, whether it's with real estate, how would you start with helping that person transition into that?
The first thing I would probably do is just provide them with all the resources that I have on hand, like the NFLPA, the NFL Network. I mean, just the whole network portion, the Legend Club, and kind of just connecting them with that to kind of help them with the processes of, okay, well, I'm going to be your mentor, but at the same time, these are the things that I feel that's going to be beneficial for you, so that you can kind of, because most of the time, most guys don't know what to do afterwards. So just kind of give them an idea. Okay, what will I would like to do when I'm done, and just kind of keep them on my wing and kind of just just try to hear them out, because I don't want to put anything upon them, something that they don't want to do. I want to hear what they want to do, because it's not what I want, it's what they want for their future. And if they don't know at that moment, it's still fine. Just giving them that time to kind of figure everything out and be a guide to kind of help them with the process of it.
So here's the problem. We're about to have a disagreement probably.
Okay.
We're waiting to see if somebody wants. You play football your whole life. Mm-hmm. What's been the one thing that's been constant as a football player? Somebody has set your schedule.
Yeah.
Somebody has told you when to be here, how to be here. Yeah. So the majority of those athletes don't know.
They're waiting for somebody.
They're waiting for them to tell them how to do it. And the people that tell them how to do it, what ends up happening a lot of times? Their money what happened to their money?
Their investment or become
yeah. So now I'm gonna ask you that same question, because now you see where I'm going. It's like, we don't know who to trust. So how do they know that? Because a lot of times people feel like I got to invest money to get information, and that ain't how this works.
But if it's with the right people, so you said with me, so.
And I know that. But
So when we're looking at this big picture, right? You're finishing at 32 years old, and you don't have a mentor, and you say, evidently, I've been in your life more than 30, probably about 12 to 20 some years, right? Because if I'm gonna be your mentor, you want to be able to go to somebody that you trust and love. But sometimes you gamble on something like that, and they take advantage of the NFL player. But you got to look at things really detailed and just take your time and be patient. Don't expect to make $1 million off $100 or $100,000. It just doesn't happen that way. You just got to be patient. You got to do your homework. You got to do your research, and you got to be prepared for your next move. Because if you're not prepared for your next move, everybody else looking kind of, they looking at you as lamb chop, man. Like you ready to, you gonna feed me. They looking at that money. So you just got to be prepared and understand that everybody in your life paying for you. And once you understand that, you will start to look at things a little bit different. You just gotta pray and ask God to put the right people in your life, so that when that journey do end, that you have all the connections already prior to retiring, or when coaches say, "Hey, I need to talk to you." So you just gotta be ready, man. I mean, it's tough, man, because I see a lot of guys, playing pro ball, and you go back and you see them. Yeah, they had a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get paid, but at the same time is
Uncle Sam takes a lot of that.
Yeah, you got New York, you got all these other places where taxes are crazy, right? I would say about 38 to 42% in New York, and in other states it's 25 to 33. So you looking at somebody make $1 million, they're not making $1 million. So don't think that they are making millions. It doesn't add up that way.
Because you pay, not only that, if it's $1 million contract, I pay. Let's say I'm in Texas, which I don't pay state taxes here. But if I go play out here in Los Angeles, I pay taxes when I play that game.
Yeah.
Or when I go play here in Michigan, I pay taxes on that game. So you got to understand that every time people say, "Hey, you made this amount of money," or you can give me $100,000. Guess what? I may only have $300,000 to myself after all these taxes.
And not include my bills.
Yeah, not include anything that I've done. So, so there's some financial literacy that people need to actually understand when it comes to that. And you got to know who's in your circle.
Correct.
I believe, I told my son this, if he ever made it or like that, you got to have a no person. Right. You got to have a person who, now I ain't talking about an agent. I'm talking about somebody in your family who, somebody calling you, "Hey, call my grandma," and she'll let you know if that makes sense or not, and if we can help you with that. Mm-hmm. You got to have a person who has only your best interest at heart when it comes to that. I think that in the time, and I'm gonna speak for this as your friend, I've been a no person for you and stuff that makes sense. Like, nah, that don't make sense, bro. We can't, like, not somebody who's gonna be a yes man, but a no person.
Yeah, I don't mess with nobody. Be like, "Oh man, yeah, it's whatever I want. You gonna make it work."
Yeah.
I mean,
but some people who, like,
but if you got those type of people in your life, let me tell you one thing. I witnessed something a couple weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was in this guy's yes, giving them everything that they want, right? And it's going to eat that person up alive. Like, you're going to watch this person be destroyed just by you telling them yes. So the goal for that person, if he retired, millions of dollars, come up with a strategy, come up with some technique, come up with a business idea, come up with strategic plans that you can utilize to help each other, push each other, go forward, right? Because if he do have, just say he do have a couple $1 million sitting and looking to invest, make sure those investments can be doubled or quadrupled over time, 3 to 5 to 10 years, that you can really retire. He can help you retire as well, because most people that invest, man, I've seen so many. I mean, somebody came to me, "I got a suit idea." I'm like, "What? A suit idea?"
I'm gonna cut you off because we're gonna talk about this.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
I got an episode for this in the future, because I know we ain't got that much time. But if y'all listen to it, y'all really rock with us. Get a couple more episodes. We're gonna talk about this part. So that's a nugget for later for you. But I'm on this note though, on this last rep.
All right.
Who had the perfect send off? So Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, retired. John Elway won 2 Super Bowls, and retired right after that. Michael Jordan hit the shot in Utah and then retired right after that shot. Obviously, he came back. Jordan, he don't know how to sit his butt down.
Yeah.
So, who had the perfect send off to you, man?
I'm gonna say it like this. Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan he should have never came back. Mm-hmm. If he's going to retire, he should have retired. That would have gave him number one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give Peyton Manning the number one spot.
Okay.
Because he did it once. Mm-hmm. That was his only one, right?
Yeah, he did the one in Denver.
Yep. And that was it, right? Yep. So he did one, and he was done because he knew when to hang up the cleats.
So them balls looked like this when he was throwing them. They was all over the place.
We ain't saying all that. Hey, no matter what he's saying with those balls in the air,
They got there.
Hey, he won a Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not saying you got to go back to back. I mean, Tom
John
Brady
Elway went two, but he went two in a row and retired though.
Who?
John Elway.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, think about it. He was in this. John.
He was almost 40. Yeah. So he was getting close too.
So when you getting close to your age and you know this is the only opportunity, and you say, okay, well, I got this lined up, I got this lined up, I got this lined up. I got to give credit to Peyton because
Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
because he's everywhere now.
Yeah, he's everywhere now. You see him on every commercial. Mm-hmm. You see him on every broadcasting station. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's like that's how you retire.
You set yourself up.
If you asking me how should NFL guys retire, it's just set yourself up. Be a good guy like he is. He's gonna tell you how you feel, but at the same time, he knows what he wants. And when you know what you want, I mean, they'll provide everything for you. I mean, if you've been in the league 10 or 15 years, man, they're gonna guide you in the right direction. You just got to be patient and wait. But if you just you like to hit the clubs and you like to do all this other stuff, bro, keep doing it, man. I mean, shoot, the NFL got a lot of jobs for people, so take advantage of it.
Well, like I said, they got jobs. College still has jobs. Yeah. You got network. You got old coaches who gonna rock with you. If they really rock with you, always be good to people. So with that, we're gonna leave y'all with that till we get back for the next episode. T, where can we find us on social, bro?
The Grindhouse ST. You can go to Instagram. You can go to Grindhouse ST on Twitter. We're the Grindhouse Sports Training on Facebook. Man, hey, we all these locations.
Pod,
you got the Grindhouse Pod.
IG,
yeah, man.
GH Pod, the GH Pod on Twitter.
Hey, that new merch is coming out.
It's coming. We're gonna have everything for y'all. Websites coming soon.
Yeah, website is coming soon. We should be within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We should have our website together. Mm-hmm. Also, we're gonna have our own flexologist. So y'all don't know what that means, but it's a stretching coach, so all my good athletes will get all the right stretching that they need. Got a team coming on board as well. So I've been behind the scenes working a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to make sure my athletes have everything they need here at Grindhouse Sports. And if you're in the community or surrounding communities, or if you want to come out in the summertime, come and give us a shout out because you're going to get some good work and it's going to be well worth it. So God bless.
We got some more.
Too early?
Too early. We good, man. We got a couple other platforms coming too. I want y'all to wait. This Grindhouse Media is got to really kick off with a couple more things that are gonna be coming. I'm just gonna put the nuggets out there, but we got some good stuff coming in 2025, man. It's 2025, bro. If you were born in 2000, you are 25 years old.
Oh man, that's crazy. I ain't gonna talk about how I am.
Yeah, you were still playing then. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all, bro.
Yeah, peace. Love y'all.
Turn that one off over there. That was good. You got that one.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's all.
This is Terrell Washington. Thank you for tuning in to the Grindhouse Podcast. If you are enjoying our show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, and all other podcast platforms. Remember, you must grind to shine.